Currently in our area, 83 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy this afternoon. High 89. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 69. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny skies. High 92. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, hello, beautiful Kiowa Island, South Carolina, looking absolutely stunning at the moment, even though you might be steaming. 89 degrees, the feels like temperature, 93, so the humidity is on. The good news is you don't have to worry about too many storms in view today, but that really does increase as we get through the next several days. We have the more chance of storms developing overnight. Well, let's focus on the heat, so the warm side, the steamy side of things. We do have those dew points on the rise. We're talking about dew points in the 70s, getting close to the 80-degree mark, and that's the time when you're putting on sunscreen inside and then you walk out and it feels like it's sliding and sticking off of you. Is that right? Sticking off of you? I don't think you can do that, but it's just slimy. It just feels gross. Dew points are, this is the scenario, 74 degrees in Memphis, 68 in Dallas, and when you combine the relative humidity with the air temperature, you get the heat index value, and that's the feels like temperature when you walk out the door. So it feels like 101 degrees in New Orleans. Ugh, look at this. Feels like 107 degrees in Tampa. Now, aside from it feeling uncomfortable, this is actually very dangerous. So you need to take time to make sure you check on those who are very susceptible to heat. And if you know of anyone who has still power outages from the storms, you need to check on them as well. Take a look at Corpus Christi. Air temperature 88 degrees. Heat index at 99 as we head east. Savannah, 96 degrees is the air temperature, but your heat index is 100. So you'll need to make sure you drink plenty of fluids and wear light colored clothing. And also, we can't stress this enough. This is our scorching car scale. Even with these temperatures fairly comfortable in the 70s, for example, in Burlington, Vermont, inside a car, after 10 minutes, it soars into 98 degrees. After 30 minutes, it's 113 degrees. So we can't stress it enough to actually set an alarm, an alert for yourself, put a toy or a stuffed animal in the front seat so you can make sure you check in the back seat for children or pets.
Yeah, you said it. We're already this year, 13 deaths in cars that have gotten too hot. Yeah, really sad stuff. All right, well, let's talk about that heat that can fuel some of these storms, and that certainly was the case in the Atlanta area. In fact, this was the wild weather just outside of our headquarters here in Atlanta. There were also several reports of trees down that blocked roads all across the metro. It's been a pretty active few days for North and Central Georgia, with 88 severe thunderstorm warnings being issued by the National Weather Service office in Atlanta. That happened between Thursday and Sunday, which actually ended up being the most for any region of the country. So it's been pretty active. And we could see more active storms here over the next few days. The setup really primed for that to take shape. High pressure hanging out north central Gulf, and that's helping to drive more of this Gulf moisture in. That slides into Texas, then begins to sort of work its way towards the lower Mississippi Valley into the south and the east. So that'll be in play. Moisture. And you get some heat. These daytime highs are going to be in the 80s and 90s. So you combine that with the humidity, it's going to feel pretty oppressive in a number of locations. Liana outlined how warm it's going to feel in a number of these locations, but that also helps to aid in the development of more of these showers as well as storms. Now, they tend to pop up during the afternoon hours and then quickly die down, but they can pop up quickly and go severe quickly as well. So don't let the fact that they tend to be short-lived fool you. They can certainly be problematic. So here's how tomorrow looks, and the map doesn't look as filled with green as you would think, but don't let that fool you either. Jackson, you're not in the green, but I certainly, if I were in Jackson, would take the rain gear with me throughout the next couple of days, because there's going to be that chance at any point during the afternoon and the evening for these storms. Same for us on Thursday, all across the south and the east. Friday, maybe a better shot for the more steady showers and storms along that sort of Gulf coastal zone, and that continues into your Saturday as well. So active times there for you, and you'll see it adding up here for us. Most areas areas up to an inch. But again, this all depends on where these storms pop up. We don't have anything showing up around Atlanta, but you get one of those downpours, and we could certainly be talking about an inch or so. Little Rock for you, mostly quiet, although they can't rule out a hit-and-miss storm through Wednesday. Better shot on Thursday. Liana?
All right, well, let's head up north, where we're also dealing with the heat coming into view, especially after such a pleasant weekend. I mean, dew points were so low, but that's all going to change as the dew points rise in the next couple of days. Philadelphia, 82 degrees, absolutely beautiful right now, still looking dry, and with a light breeze, it makes it feel a lot more comfortable. However, the dew points are on the rise across other parts of the Northeast. So take a look at the temperatures outside. Overall, in the 70s, very pleasant, 74 for New York and Binghamton. Notice in these red colors, that's where we're flirting near 80 degrees, 83 in D.C., 75 for Pittsburgh, and 71 for Buffalo. Really comfortable out across far northern New England. Bangor, oh, look at this, 46-degree dew point. Your temperature staying in the 70s, so that's pristine. Dew points, though, a little bit higher across the southeast, or a little bit further southeast. 71 degrees in New York and 65 in D.C. That makes it feel a lot more muggy outside. So as we look at our highs, as we get to the hottest time of the day, between 1 and 4 p.m., 80, 90 degrees, 81 for New York, D.C., Pittsburgh, Binghamton at 78 and 79 degrees in Bangor. But later this week, the heat is on. Thanks to that warm front as it slides up north. We're going to see these warmer temperatures building in behind it, all thanks to high pressure. High pressure normally is a good thing for us. In this case, we don't really want it to be doing its job in that rotation, bringing in all that surge of warm air. Tomorrow, though, we're looking at plenty of spots dotting the landscape. We're seeing highs about 5 to 10 degrees above where we would normally see. For example, Baltimore, high of 92 degrees for tomorrow. Alex?
All right. Well, the Washington Square Music Festival, that is actually set to get underway in New York City today. You can enjoy sounds of free-form jazz. All my jazz lovers out there. It starts at 8 o'clock. The festival is free. Who doesn't like free? Open to the public, though, with it being first come, first serve when it comes to seating. Forecast calling for a quieter evening. We started rain this morning, but looks dry for the evening.
This program brought to you by Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life.
You might take something for your heart, your joints, or your digestion. So why wouldn't you take something for the most important part of you, your brain? With an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish, Prevagen has been shown in clinical trials to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
That's wonderful news.
Home insurance trusted by more people than any other. State Farm.
So now, Dish has over 80,000 on-demand movies and shows. 80,000. Why? I mean, it would take you years to get through 80,000. Thing is, it's not about 80,000. It's about one. That one movie you saw that one time on a first date with that one girl. That's why.
Dish. Tuned in to you.
We drove up a really long driveway to a property that was hidden from the road. It was so hot. It was overwhelming to see how many animals there were, as well as the conditions they were in. Puppies tied up to chains. It was 100 degrees and there was nothing for them to drink. It was terrible.
This
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Wednesday, mainly sunny. High 91. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday night, clear skies. Low 72. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, a mainly sunny sky. High 92. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I got a certain way I like to do things. I like Consumer Cellular. I get unlimited talk and text for just $25 a month with no contract. They received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service again.
And Consumer Cellular has been an approved AARP provider since 2008, so we trust them. Reliable nationwide coverage for way less money? That's the way.
We like it.
Switch today and get a $20 credit on any new line of service. Call, go online, or find us at Target.
I'm tasting olives, roasted pine nuts, this red pepper.
That's spicy stuff. Fresh flavor, feel-good food. Sabra hummus.
I just had Sabra hummus and now I feel good.
We sat down with pet lovers to ask why they love shopping at Chewy.com.
Nala's a big girl, so we have to get these big bags of food. It adds up after a while. With Chewy.com, we can get all that food for a great price. Nala's happy and healthy and living her best life.
I really wanted another dog. He was super worried about the money.
Yes.
Thanks to Chewy.com, we can save money on food and toys and even their prescription medicines.
So finally, I broke down.
And we were able to rescue Max.
Save 30% on your first order today at Chewy.com.
All eyes on me.
Cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. The world's most refreshing beer, Coors Light.
Thank you so much.
New purple, eh, Deb?
He's always wanted to try one. Well, they have a 100-night trial, so...
Everyone wants to sleep better and can. Purple makes it easy with free shipping and our 100-night trial. Now through the 4th of July, get up to $300 in savings when you buy a Purple mattress at purple.com/TV.
Attention cancer victims who use the weed killer Roundup. A federal jury unanimously found that Monsanto's popular weed killer Roundup was a substantial factor in causing cancer. You may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you or someone you love used Roundup and were diagnosed with cancer, call the number on your screen now. Don't wait. There may be time deadlines to file a claim.
Call 800-838-1016. That's 800-838-1016.
We're counting down the top 10 most extreme places. So far, we've been to Arizona for heat and haboos. At 9, International Falls, Minnesota, which is the coldest town in the continental U.S. And at 8, the tornado-ravaged town of Moore, Oklahoma. Our next extreme destination is one of the most incredible places in terms of weather variety. It has one of the lowest population densities of any region in the continental U.S., but those that live there face brutal conditions on a regular basis. At number 7, it's the Northern Plains.
Every form of extreme and violent weather has occurred in the high plains. Record heat waves, record cold waves, the worst blizzards, tornadoes, hailstorms, flash floods.
This harsh environment includes North and South Dakota, eastern Montana, and Nebraska.
Temperature at Spearfish, South Dakota once rose from 4 below zero to 45 degrees in 2 minutes one morning. The change in temperature was so extreme that plate glass windows cracked.
Other extremes include the hottest temperature measured outside the desert Southwest, the greatest temperature change during a single 24-hour period, the largest hailstone measured in our country, and a U.S. record 41 straight days below zero.
The Northern Plains are an amazing place during the wintertime. The combination of the cold air that filters into that area from Canada and the very strong winds that come with these major winter storms produce these blizzard conditions, drops the visibility to just a few feet at times into whiteout conditions, and they can be life-threatening at times.
I've flown into Bismarck and Fargo where the temperature's 45 to 50 degrees, and the next morning I walk out the door and it's already down to near zero. The wind chills are 20 below zero. We're getting horizontal snow. Wind chills right now are running at 40 below zero.
Probably no one knows more about these blizzards than meteorologist Mike Seidel. who's covered dozens of winter storms in the region.
When you're standing out in a blizzard in the Dakotas, and that wind and snow is hitting you in the face, it's an adrenaline rush, but it is certainly dangerous.
Our next extreme spot may surprise some of you. It has been home to some of the worst flash flooding disasters in U.S. history. At number 6 in our countdown of the top 10 most extreme places, Colorado. It's a lethal combination of geography and meteorology.
Colorado is very flash flood prone because of all that steep terrain with a lot of Gulf of Mexico moisture that flows up against that. That pushes the air up, forms thunderstorms, and they often just sit there over the terrain and give deluges that then run quickly down the rivers and cause a lot of flooding.
The Centennial State has had numerous catastrophic flash floods in their foothills, but 2 of them were gigantic disasters. The Big Thompson flood in 1976 killed 144 people north of Boulder and is considered the worst natural disaster in the state's history. It destroyed 418 houses, 152 businesses, and caused over $40 million in damage.
There were a lot of people in parks camped right up along the river. And it was a wall of water that came down at least 6 feet tall. In some places, the river rose very quickly from about 1 foot deep to perhaps 20 to 30 feet deep.
The system was stationary for more than 3 hours and dumped 8 inches in a 1-hour-long stretch.
Huge boulders were rolling and smashing into anything they encountered, including cars that were on the road. And some of the
And they'll say, Grandpa, just tell us about Humpty Dumpty. And you'll say, he broke his pelvis or whatever. Now back to my creamy Heinz mayonnaise. Heinz mayonnaise, unforgettably creamy.
My mom washes the dishes before she puts them in the dishwasher. So what does the dishwasher do?
Cascade Platinum does the work for you. Pre-washing and removing stuck-on foods the first time.
Wow, that's clean.
Cascade Platinum.
People say if you have occasional constipation, you should know the location of a decent bathroom. My gut says take new Benefiber Healthy Balance. This daily supplement helps maintain digestive health naturally while relieving occasional constipation and abdominal discomfort. New Benefiber Healthy Balance.
He was diagnosed with a large tumor. St. Jude gave us our son back. This place is saving children every day.
Que él está bien, porque gracias a St. Jude me están dando una esperanza de vida para él.
This is a perfectly healthy baby, and then he gets cancer 3 months later.
1 in 5 children diagnosed with cancer in the U.S. will not survive. You can join the battle to save lives by supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Without St. Jude and without the research they've done, I may not have my daughter.
Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because all a family should worry about
Currently in our area, 90 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 72, chance of rain 30%. Saturday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 92, chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook. A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for our area. Currently in our area, 74 degrees with rainy conditions. Tonight, thunderstorms early, gusty winds and small hail are possible. Low 72. Sunday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 83. Chance of rain 40%. Sunday night, cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 69. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Their friends by surprise.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
And finally, all the mountain went down.
We're talking about thousands of tons of snow. If you get caught in an avalanche like this, all of that snow coming down at such a fast speed, sometimes, by the way, greater than 70, maybe even 80 miles an hour, can bury you very rapidly. And when you get buried, you're not buried in nice fluffy snow. You're encased in a concrete of snow.
Solange Dejouy makes it out of the avalanche with the help of a safety device.
So I have activated my airbag, and the airbag inflate. I could slide on the snow, so it was quite comfortable at this point.
But Mikel Bembouise has been caught in the thick of the avalanche. Now he's entombed in snow.
When everything stopped, I was under the snow. I knew that. I knew that my head was up, that I was deep, and I'm just thinking, just calm down, breathe.
His survival is in the hands of his friends. They must find him quickly, but he's buried somewhere beneath a huge field of snow. The clock is ticking. They only have a few minutes before he runs out of air and dies. Fortunately, the skiers are prepared for an avalanche and immediately go into rescue mode.
I was not really worried about the time. I was just doing what I know I have to do. I know we have to do it really fast. We have always with us a probe and shovel and beacon.
The beacon directs them to Mikel's general location, but they still need to find the exact spot where he's buried, and that's taking precious time.
I thought, it's long. It's really long, and what are they doing? And then I'm just falling asleep after 5 minutes maybe.
He may have actually been breathing more carbon dioxide and building that up in his body, which eventually was causing him to go into a sleep and pass out.
That can be deadly. Probing the snow, they finally find the spot where Mikel is buried. Frantically, Solange digs. Then he sees something. It's the top of Mikel's head.
When I find his head, he was breathing, so it was a good point. After that, we have to dig a lot because he was more than 1 meter under the snow.
It took a lot of time to dig me out because I was quite deep with my legs, and I had one ski attached to my foot still.
After almost 20 minutes,
a tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Out of danger. He's sustained absolutely no injuries.
My only message to anyone who wants to go off-piste or free-riding is to protect yourself and to protect people around you, because when you trigger an avalanche, it's possible to hurt yourself, but also other people.
When severe weather strikes and the unthinkable happens, lives are changed in the blink of an eye. But that's when ordinary people rise to the challenge to become heroes and survivors.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
A biblical plague of locusts, not
that should be happening today.
60s and, weather.
Weekend, we do have some severe weather developing over parts of South Jersey and
grasshoppers and making it look like.
And good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Mark Thibodeau here at the Weather Channel. Hope you're enjoying your 4th of July weekend. We do have some severe weather developing over parts of South Jersey and southeast Pennsylvania. Currently, we do have a tornado warning that is in effect for parts of South Jersey. Now, this warning does include the south side of Philadelphia. This includes Delaware, Gloucester, Philadelphia counties, including Camden, Philadelphia, and Upper Darby. This is going to go till 4:45 p.m. this afternoon. So if you're in this area, get to lowest interior room without windows. A basement is preferable as we see a severe storm here on the south side of Philadelphia, south of the 76, north of Woolwich and west of Gloucester, moving off to the east at about 35 to 40 miles an hour. Radar indicated tornado right about in this area. And if we could switch over to velocity, we'll see what's happening with that in just a minute. Just want to go back over that real quick. There we go. Thank you, James. As we zoom in on this one, you can see that we do have kind of a transient circulation going on here west of Woolwich, south of the 130, and this is moving off to the east and northeast at about 35 miles an hour. So if you're in this area, and there's a lot of people outdoors right now, you want to get inside a strong building away from windows, as many walls between you and the outside as possible. A basement is the most preferable location as we wait this out and watch this storm continue to develop and move off to the east northeast. Again, this is radar indicated. We don't have anything that is just standing out at us saying, whoa, we have a tornado on the ground right now, but we do have indications on radar that there may be a tornado developing here with this particular severe thunderstorm. So let's plot it out for you here and tell you where it's going to be. 410 East Greenwich, 416 West Deptford at 421, Haddon at 425, Cherry Hill at 432. So it's going to be heading through some very populated areas. A lot of people outdoors here in eastern Pennsylvania and western parts of Jersey, crossing over potentially the Delaware River here as we head through about the next 20 minutes or so as we watch this storm unfold. Now, again, we don't have a huge-looking hook echo on radar right now, but we do have an area of inbound.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Right here on the southwest flank of the storm, just around the 130 south of 95 here, just south of Chester, moving off to the east-northeast at about 35 to 40 miles an hour. So what we would be concerned about across the rest of the area, especially up in this area with this northeast flank of this supercell moving in, would be some large hail potentially on the northeast side of these supercells. That's often what we see. That's what we call the hail core of the storm, the part of it that could have some large hail. You can see right here there are some indications potentially down here between Chester and Woolwich of maybe some large hail, although the radar is not saying, hey, there's some very large hail here at the moment. But what we often see when these supercells, if they start strengthening as the hail size grows, and sometimes accordingly as the hail size increases, so does the tornado threat. They kind of go hand in hand because that indicates the updraft strength is increasing, which is what we need, a good strong updraft to maintain a tornadic thunderstorm. So as we watch this down the road a little bit, that will continue to move off to the east-northeast. Look out in the south side of Philadelphia into parts of West Jersey, perhaps, south of Pemberton, down the 206. Other places, Ocean County, New Jersey, a flash flood warning here till 5:45. Stafford included in this. Watch out at the Jersey Shore. Frequent lightning and very heavy downpours.
but his windshield is wrecked.
They don't need to fall that far to build up a lot of speed. We've got a serious amount of mass to them, so you start dropping that from any.
The weather creates them and brings them down.
Big stuff, big stuff, big stuff. Jeez Louise!
But sometimes the weather isn't to blame.
Ow!
Coming up, a river magically reborn, and it's bringing water to the desert. And could the weather have caused this gruesome winter wipeout?
Wow, millions of dead fish, they're everywhere.
If you have moderate to severe psoriasis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clear skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Ready to treat differently with a pill? Otezla, show more of you.
Mostly cloudy skies in Scranton.
Is about to occur. A torrent of water gushes across the landscape. A raging river created.
And a good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Mark Thibodeau here. We continue to see some dangerous weather developing across the Northeast. Brand new tornado warning now for parts of northern New Jersey, north central New Jersey. This is going to include Hunterdon County, and that's going to go until 4:45 Eastern times. We zoom in and take a look at things here. You can see that we have our first tornado warning, which does include Philadelphia County and parts of South Jersey. That's going to go for just a bit longer. But then further up north, well west of New York City, west of Newark, we have a brand new tornado warning that has just come out. And we're going to zoom in and take a look at this guy. And you can see here that this is another one of these cells that looks like it might have a bit of a hook to it here on the southwest edge, including Hunterdon County. So in Clinton, Lebanon, till 4:45, looking at a tornado warning here right about over Holland at the moment, continuing to move off to the north-northeast. So if you're downwind here to the east over into Clinton, Raritan as well, not off the hook either. You want to take cover immediately, lowest interior room without windows as we watch this supercell thunderstorm develop. And again, in this area up to the north and east, could be looking at a pretty large hail core with this as well. Now you can see with this that we don't have a very tightly wound circulation, kind of like the other storm down to the south near Philadelphia, but we do have an area of possible rotation here, kind of a broad circulation showing up between Holland and Clinton, just south of the 173 here across parts of central New Jersey. And this is going to be moving off to the east-northeast again at about 35 miles an hour. So Clinton, you're in the way of this over the next 10 to 15 minutes. And down the road a little bit, potentially, if you're going to be on I-78 here, across northern New Jersey, this east-west freeway here along I-78, and eventually, if it holds together over towards the 287, watch out for this storm. Could be looking at potentially a tornadic signature moving down Interstate 78 or just south of it as we head through about the next half an hour to 45 minutes. So Bethlehem in the path of this, Clinton, Lebanon, Reddington as well at 4:37 p.m. Lowest interior room without windows. A basement is preferable. That's the best, most safest place to be in these kind of storms if you have one available. If you're outdoors, you want to get inside to a strong building and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And windowless rooms here, folks. That's the way to go. A basement, if possible, again, is your safest option in this particular situation. Here's the other tornado warning that we have further south. This includes the South Philadelphia metropolitan area. North Philadelphia, you're just a little bit north of where the worst weather is, but South Philadelphia, you are not. Right along I-95 and stretching over to I-76, you can see the storm just right along the Delaware River right now, heading off to the east-northeast, including Camden, Philadelphia, Upper Darby. Till 4:45, the storm is going to be moving in. Just going to be moving into Gloucester here, I think, as we head through about the next half an hour or so. And south of Philadelphia, South Philadelphia, 130, Woolwich as well. Seeing the weather moving through right now.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
That is where we have the best possible rotation signature for a possible tornado. And you can see that is just where the 130 meets Logan here. Just in the Logan vicinity, that's where we have what we call a weak-bound echo region. That is where, excuse me, where we have got an absence of wind velocity in green right next to red. It's a broad circulation. It's not a very tightly wound circulation like we've seen with some of these tornadoes so far earlier in the spring back in Jefferson City and places like Tulsa. Doesn't quite look like that, but it does look like a broad circulation that at least has a chance of maybe a weak tornado with it, with some damaging winds potentially as it moves off to the east and to the northeast. So Gibbstown, East Greenwich, West Deptford in the path of this particular storm. And again, the signature of concern is right in here. That is where, if there were to be a tornado, would more than likely be located. So it's going to be crossing, if it holds together, it's going to be meeting up here with I-76. And if it continues to move east, again, south of downtown Philadelphia, over towards 95 here. And you can see Washington a little bit south and east of where the worst of the storm is. But it's this area between Philly and D.C. that we really got to watch over the next few hours. And as we see this potential tornadic storm moving off to the east and southeast. So here's our cell that's further north now. Now we're switching gears a little bit, heading back over to north central New Jersey, Hunterdon County till 4:45. Take cover here immediately. If you're on I-78, good time to pull off the road and find a place of safety and let this one pass. Back later.
The solar winds have more.
At this point in time.
An excessive heat warning is in effect. Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. A tornado warning tonight has been issued strong for our area. Severe thunderstorms likely. Low 74. Sunday, scattered thunderstorms. High 84. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Is contained within Hunterdon County at this hour. We just have that little tail that has extended back.
If a basement is available, it's preferable because there still is a chance with the storm that we could have a fast, weak tornado developing here on the southwest edge. This storm does have a history of mid-level rotation. It has not been very strong mid-level rotation, but there has been some rotation with the storm on the southwest edge of this cell just a bit earlier, about a half an hour ago or so. We are going to be looking at other areas that have got severe weather going on in the same part of the country. Further up Jersey, further up to the north, Raritan, including Hunterdon counties, we've got a tornado warning. Now, this one also has a weak signature, but it has a bit more of a curly Q to it compared to the other cell. You can see how the rain kind of wraps around a kind of a rain-free center there. So it is possible that this one, while still being a weak signature, maybe has a somewhat of a better chance of spawning a weak tornado as the rain is wrapping a bit more around the center where the storm is. So Clinton as well as Reddington over the next hour or so. Watch this one as it moves on right along and south of I-78, a very highly populated area here, and there are a lot of people outdoors right now because of all the 4th of July activities going on. So we want to let you know about this for sure. If you're in Mount Salem, 426, moving your way here momentarily. Sydney, 431, Sunnyside, 436, 440 Stanton, and Drayhook at 444. This storm moving in from the west with a possible tornado. In all likelihood, we are looking at damaging winds, though. Strong straight-line thunderstorm winds with the option for maybe a weak tornado with this as well.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Central New Jersey. Other areas throughout the east, looking at severe thunderstorm warnings across back into Dutch country here in Pennsylvania. The potential for strong straight-line winds and heading up into the upper Hudson Valley, south of Albany, west of Boston as well. A pair of severe thunderstorm warnings here. Let's take a look at this. Fitchburg as well as Lowell and Worcester looking at the storm moving in from the east. From the west, rather, to the east. So Essex, Middlesex, Worcester counties looking at the cell moving in until 5 o'clock. Damaging straight-line winds coming into 495 here. The potential for wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour with this storm. Again, a lot of folks out right now use extreme caution. And along the Maine coast here, the lower east coast of Maine, looking at storms slamming through Bangor, Bar Harbor, and further down to the south towards I-95. Portland looking at the potential for a squall line here with damaging winds. Be safe.
Snowfall will cover that layer of ice, stopping all photosynthesis underneath the surface of the water.